COPWATCH, policing the police every single day.
First lawsuit filed against Texas chief who seized cameras in fear for his life. By Teresa R. 3 days. Edited. Leon Valley Police Chief ordered the arrest of reporters and activists after luring them to fake press conference. A Texas police chief said he was in fear for his life when he staged a fake press conference last month to arrest a group of activists and journalists, seizing their phones and cameras as evidence. Now an attorney has filed a lawsuit against Leon Valley Police Chief Joseph Salvaggio, who still has not returned the cameras, including my phone, when all I was doing was documenting the protest, claiming that he had received death threats through comments on our live-streamed videos. The lawsuit was filed electronically on the 4th of July as a symbolic gesture on behalf of our constitutional rights, which were trampled upon by Chief Salvaggio and his police force. The lawsuit, filed by attorney Solomon Radner, highlights 3 incidents where either activists were ordered to stop recording or had their recording devices seized, even though the activists were on public property where nobody had an expectation of privacy. Radner is representing 11 activists in his suit. That is just the first lawsuit of more to come. The arrests were captured in the above video. Along with phone, Leon Valley also seized my driver's license on June 23 and have yet to return them, even though I was there as a reporter to cover the protest. And they also confiscated David Wharton's camera, who was also covering the protest on behalf of Photography Is Not a Crime, so we will be filing a separate lawsuit soon. Leon Valley had been the site of protests by constitutional auditors for weeks after an auditor was arrested and injured at the police station while he was recording inside of what officials are calling a secured area. That led more auditors to travel to Leon Valley and protest the arrest, which led to more activists being arrested and their cameras seized as evidence. One activist, Jack Miller, had his home raided in the middle of the night by Leon Valley police and had all of his computers and guns seized. All of these events led to a planned protest this past weekend, June 22 to 23, where the police chief, Joseph P. Salvaggio, invited those who were present to a press conference in front of the municipal building. When everyone showed up to attend the press conference, the chief ordered his officers to arrest several activists who had been live streaming the protest throughout the day, telling everyone else that they were detained as witnesses. Everyone was told that their cellular phones and cameras would be seized as evidence. We had both been following the story for weeks and were very interested in how things would unfold at this protest. We were there with more than a dozen activists and auditors who came in from all over the country. We were also there with other observers who were excited to meet their favorite auditors and wanted to offer their support. I arrived at the protest late Friday evening on June 22 as the event was breaking up. Auditors, activists, and observers had been at the building protesting with signs and by simply video recording for several hours. The protest remained peaceful throughout the first day. Saturday, Wharton and I returned sometime after lunch and I made 2 brief live streams of the events on YouTube. The footage from the 2 live streams that I shot were not stored on my phone. They were stored on the YouTube server. Late in the day, Chief Salvaggio walked out to the area where activists had staged and told everyone he would be holding a press conference in 20 minutes to make a few announcements. We were all gearing up to leave and grab dinner when the chief came out but decided to hang around and attend the announced event. As we gathered around in front of the municipal building and waited for the chief, we noticed that police had started massing in the back of the building, and we all started worrying there was an ulterior motive behind the chief's press conference. Still, I was there to cover the event, as credentialed media, and assumed I would be free from any of the previous seizing of video equipment and live streaming devices. The chief came out promptly 20 minutes after making the announcement and began ordering the arrests of several activists who were live streaming, including YouTube auditors James Freeman, Clash with Bow, Ohio Guardian 2.0, Buckeye in the Sky, Ethic Instead, as well as PNUC reporter David Wharton, News Now Houston. Those people were immediately brought inside. All of them were handcuffed. The rest of us, all observers, were told we were detained and would have our property seized as evidence. There were about 10 of us left on the sidewalk waiting in the 100-degree-plus Texas sun. One of the people waiting, Kevin Egan, eventually had to be taken to the hospital after succumbing to the heat. We were told by the chief that someone had made death threats in the chat section of the live streams of several of the activists who had been broadcasting events throughout the day. We were told that in Texas, live streamers are responsible for the comments and threats that others make during their broadcast. We were told that each and every one of us would be held personally responsible. We were told that we were being detained as witnesses and that if we did not cooperate with their investigation, by giving up our property and our identification, that we would be arrested. Because Texas is not a stop and ID state, citizens are not required to identify themselves unless they are under arrest. I was willing to give up my identification, and did cooperate by handing Officer Rivera my Louisiana driver's license. A very rude captain came by and snatched my phone out of my hand and out of the hands of everyone else who remained outside. The captain told us that he didn't work for us, that he only worked for the citizens of Leon Valley. They were extremely aggressive to us, threatening us and telling anyone who protested the detainment that they shouldn't have come to Leon Valley. Also on scene were law enforcement officers from San Antonio Police Department, Texas State Police and Olmos Park. Those officers ignored our complaints and stood stoically watching our rights be violated and our property be stolen out of our hands. The chief of police told all of the detained witnesses that we could have our devices returned to us if we signed a consent form for them to download the video. We all agreed to do it, under duress, but when we were eventually told we were free to go, the chief had changed his mind and our property remained in the custody of Leon Valley Police Department. The actions of the chief probably do not come as a surprise to anyone who has followed Salvaggio's career. He was fired by the San Antonio Police Department for cheating on his captain exam. He sued the department and with the help of his friends in the police union there, he was able to get his job back pay, and his promotion. Read more about that here. I still do not have my phone, the tool I use the most to cover news stories for PNUC. Leon Valley Police Department has it and they're not taking any calls from me to tell me when I will get it back. Of course, that was the whole point of taking our property. They want to silence the message by stealing the tools people use to spread it. Everyone watching this should be terrified at the actions authorities are taking to silence the voices of those people that shine a light on their corruption. Carlos Miller contributed to this report.
Yeah, just what we thought. Just what we thought. They were coming out to arrest everyone. This is the chief.
So guys, first of all, thanks for coming to Leon Valley. What you don't have a right to do is be streaming things where police officers or anybody else's family is being threatened or violation of the state law. If you're not from Texas, that's your problem. You should have known better. But if you stream something, you were responsible for its contents. There's death threats on y'all's YouTube Live, and every one of y'all will be held accountable for those death threats. Does everybody here understand what I'm telling you? So, bottom line,
ACLU.
Let's go. You're under arrest as well. Move.
Under arrest. Even though we cannot be held responsible. He's calling it a felony. They're taking these people to jail.
Just so you know, this is the only camera I have. It does not stream live. It's a static camera.
So everybody else, you're not free to leave. Come on across the street.
We're detained. We're all detained.
Get on over here, sir, right now. Every one of y'all are witnesses to the crime. Every one of y'all, your cameras, your devices.
They're going to illegally seize our property.
Sit down right here.
We're all being arrested.
Right here. Every one of y'all. Sit down, take this camera, and keep talking to him.
Let's go here, ma'am.
Let's go. Get over here.
He told me to sit here, sir.
I just want to be clear on why I have to.
This is ridiculous because we have people out here.
You're under arrest.
I am not resisting.
Sit down. I don't care. Sit down.
I don't have any evidence on my phone. This phone is live streaming. Nothing stays on the phone.
Sit down.
Everything
We're
is
not
on.
discussing this right now. You're going to sit down. You're not in charge.
Oh man, I wanted to drink.
Fucking great.
Put them inside. Go back and get the rest of them. Every one of them.
They are arresting I guess they're taking it into custody, every one of us.
Let go of it.
Hang on, let me lock my phone,
Let go of
sir.
it. Let go of it.
Look, it's on. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. He's taking my phone. I do not consent to you taking my property.
Ma'am, I'm not asking
I do
you.
not consent. Well,
Release that, please. Release that. Thank you.
Okay? Let me explain it to you. Texas law says that you must identify as a suspect or a witness to a crime. Every one of y'all are a witness with what y'all been doing out here, and every one of y'all are suspects if you've been streaming live. Because I guarantee you, the rest of y'all, we're going to find that on yours. So we're already pulling those tapes on YouTube. Everyone's going to identify themselves, and if anybody has a camera on them or a phone on them, it's going to be taken as evidence. They will be returned to you once the warrant is issued for those. We will return them. But we won't, there's no talking right now.
I want the guy too.
So every single one of y'all don't identify. Everybody understand what I'm telling you? I'm not taking questions right now. You shouldn't have been here. Everyone
Hey, Cat.
all right. Just understand. Just understand.
Please, somebody help us. No, we don't need help. We're outside the law. Everybody stay calm. He's harassing me.
You understand what interference with duties of a police officer, right? You understand what interference with duties of a police officer, right? If you refuse to give up your license, you'll be charged with interference with duties of a police officer.
Chief,
I understand.
Chief, these cuffs are cutting off the blood in my hand.
Okay, we'll be with you just a minute.
Before or after my finger falls off.
If it falls off, that's on you. Okay, we'll be with you in a minute. All right, I just said, no more discussion. Absolutely, you're detained. No suspicion of anything. You're a witness to a crime. Are you from Texas? Are you from Texas? Because then you should know the law. Then you should know the law. Hey, one more behind you. Hey, one more behind you. Get in. Get in.
And they're going to steal all our cars. They've stolen all our phones. Somebody call the state police.
They're on the way. Don't worry about it. Guaranteed. Yep, that's me. Oh, I know. All right. Okay. I told you we'll talk about that in a little bit. I told you we'll talk about that in a little bit. Yes.
Okay, so do you have a license? Go ahead, sir.
I do.
Okay, you do have a license?
I do, but I'm curious. What am I doing?
Once I'm able to secure this,
Verify you have a license. Go from there, okay?
Ma'am, you'll get receipts for everything. Once you identify yourself, we'll
I
return
don't
you.
know what's my phone. They just
So,
called it a
what's going on here is if you display your rifle in front of the DA and sit it, that can be considered disorderly conduct. Okay?
Walking around, you'll see that it's swung off to this side.
Okay.
Until we're done.
Yeah, I'm not out here to scare anybody, but I got it for everybody.
Until we're done.
Swung to my side.
Hello?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to safeguard your weapons that have you. Oh, I promise you I won't. I know weapons are expensive. I promise you. Okay?
Have a seat right here.
Okay, I was documenting law enforcement activity
Sir, right over here on this side. On this side. Yes. Very good. Thank you very much.
on public property, documenting law enforcement activity. Police officers in the course of their duty. I committed no crime. I should not be handcuffed. Being a witness to a crime does not give you the right to handcuff anybody. Is your body camera on, Officer Farias?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you.
So I stepped out. Okay, so we're gonna verify that you had a concealed handgun license. You are carrying a gun.
Secure 1712 hours, Kansas, Constable 3, right with the SO Pack 3. So we're going to SO Pack 3.
Okay, so we're gonna conduct this investigation. If everything comes out all right, I'll give you back your weapon.
Documenting police activity is a constitutionally protected activity covered under Turner versus Driver. You cannot handcuff me and arrest me for merely standing here documenting police activity. You cannot seize my property.
Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.